Step into your change, feel the light. With Jason by your side, your future's bright. From pain to purpose, let your spirit soar. Awaken your worth, it's time to explore. Transform your life, let your heart unfold. Turn your struggles into gold. Join the journey, take the lead. Find your joy, awaken deep. Discover the tools, embrace the peace. With every step, find your release. Explore now with Jason Benefield. Your path to purpose starts today.
My name is Jason A. Benefield, even though I have two middle names. It's actually A.O. But my father said, well, why did you shorten it? I said, well, because it's just easier to say A, you know. But my middle name is Adeneye Ojudu, meaning God's gift, every eye sees you. And it's Nigerian. And my first name means healer. And my last name means good field. So it's like kind of an interesting sentence, right? So I want to thank you all for being here today. But I'd like to start off this way. I would like to start off saying that I'm very grateful for this opportunity, grateful for this life, grateful for this existence. Just knowing that there's only one life, one power, one presence, one existence that is everywhere, all things, in everyone, that we are all one with. And I am blessing this moment, this opportunity, because this opportunity is the greatest opportunity ever presented and ever created for each and every one of us to be a part of. And so I am just blessing and giving thanks because this moment is wonderful. How many people agree with that right here, right now? Right on. So with that, I would like to say that my moment began when I was about 8 or 9 years old. I woke up in the lower level of my family church. My uncle at the time was a pastor. I am a grandson of a bishop. I am a nephew of 3 different pastors and also cousins of 4 pastors. So as you could tell, this is in my bloodline. This is my existence. This is who I have always been. And I woke up at the lower level of my uncle's church, and I'm waking up from what I thought was a nap. And my mother is talking to a nurse, a good friend, Miss Feeney. And Miss Feeney is telling my mother, you have to take him to the hospital. My mother says, there's nothing wrong with him. He's just being bad. I said, well, I woke up and I'm hearing this conversation take place. And I'm saying, so what's going on here? What is the issue? Well, my mother said, well, don't you remember you standing up telling your uncle to shut up, shut up, shut up? I said, no, absolutely not. No, ma'am, that's not me. That wasn't me. You know me, right? You know who I am, right? But see, before I became a person on Tegretol and Dilatin, I was a person that was on punishment and on ass whoopings. Because of the fact of how things have progressed based on not knowing and understanding that there's so much more that takes place in a child's life than just acting out. There's so much more in a child's life that takes place than just experiencing our day-to-day ways of being. See, thank God for, redemption, and also for individuals being able to have an opportunity to sit with one another. And I'm probably getting ahead of myself even saying this, but during my time I am a licensed practitioner, spiritual licensed practitioner. That means I'm a facilitator like Dr. Soul was just mentioning earlier. And thank you so much for giving more information on what it takes to be a facilitator, because you just added some more keys and tools to my experience helping out other individuals. The one thing for sure is what I realized is that a month before my mother passed, she wanted to be able to have a therapy session with me. She said to me, Jason, I went through a traumatic experience that your grandfather looked at as an opportunity for God to fix. and not for him to care for me like a father. And so when you were going through your situation, I didn't know how to take care of you like a mother. How many of you have ever experienced and noticed when your parents did not know how to help you whenever you were going through something? See, and that is something that after a while, when you start to realize and you begin to see that, you begin to know and to experience that, oh my goodness, I understand now why I'm a cycle breaker. Because now I can look at things and I can say, okay, let's sit down, let's talk about it. But yet my parents, they came up in a time frame in life where there was no conversation. You either do what I say or you get the hell out. And I mean, those were the only two options. But see, I'm grateful for one thing and one thing only in this moment. I'm grateful for God. Because without God, I wouldn't know where I would be and what I would do ever in my life. So I continued to stay on a path that allowed me to see and to know my greatness. Now, in spite of all of that, the one thing that I became was a people pleaser. I became a people pleaser because I felt like that what I was going through and what I was moving through as an individual, I didn't understand. Well, if I'm doing something wrong, then I got to figure out how to be right. Because in this way of me being the right person for you, or the right person for you, or the right person for you, I got to find out and figure out who am I got to be in order for you to be fulfilled, in order for you to be fulfilled. And until I can do that, I can't be who I was created to be. And so throughout my whole life, about 40 years of it, I was experiencing different ways on how to be that volunteer that continued to be just overwhelmed, how to be that person that was always angry because my needs weren't being met, and to how to always be an individual that could never see the bright side of life because everybody else wasn't being taken care of. What about me? But that was never a question. It was, what can you do? What can I do for you to make you feel and be better? But see, the great thing about it is that just like anyone else that's going through any type of a situation like this, looking for love in all the wrong places. Can anybody experience that with me? Huh? Right? Looking for it in anyone and everyone just to be able to feel some modicum of care without having to try to get it from the outside. But trust and believe, it wasn't always like that the whole time. I had to try to find someone to show me and tell me something that the people that I really needed them to show me would not. So that's why I say, I thank God, because I swear I don't know where I would be if I didn't go out and search for individuals to really show me a different and better way. So I had different mentors. I had different individuals that were trying to help me. And sometimes those that I thought were trying to help me were really trying to help my parents make me be a better person. Right? Because it's not really about what the child wants at the end of it all. So what did I have to do? I had to really truly know that in spite of everything that took place, I am enough. Even when I felt like everything was less than, even though when I believed that I wasn't worthy of anything at all whatsoever, I had to change my mindset. I had to change my thought process. I had to change the way I was feeling. But trust and believe, it took some time. It was not an overnight success. But you would never know sometimes. I'll show up, I'll have a smile, I'll walk tall like this, be all suited and booted, and you would never experience or know that I was moving through anything in my life. How many people have, somebody was talking about earlier, putting on a mask, right? Because that was my experience. Because that's what I was taught. Because it was all about image. If my mom could not show that she knew how to leave me and keep me in place, where people can look at her and say, that's a good woman right there. She know how to keep her children in line. But that wasn't it. That wasn't the idea. So what I had to do, I had to dig. I had to really dig within, right? And digging is deeper in the groove. Digging is detecting what is happening, making sure that I am in alignment or understanding what's taking place, and then I am able to change or reassess or recreate a groove within me that allows me to have a more of affirmative experience for myself. And if my people from Toastmasters, see, I did it twice. If people from Toastmasters was just watching this, they say, you said, you know. So shout out to Toastmasters. So I just want to say one thing though, before I even get to the deeper in the grooves part of it. You know that you're a people pleaser when you bump into the chair and you say, excuse me.
Canadian.
Hey, and the chair doesn't answer, right? I love Canadians. So you know exactly how much you actually put into so much outside validation. Oh my gosh. I have been in a position where outside validation has been my only way of saying that I exist and that I actually do matter. So let's go back to dig. Let's go back into digging. Let's go back into deeper into the groove. I had to begin to take that very idea. I had to begin to assess it. And then I had to create a new thought form, a new belief. So let's just do this exercise real quick, if you don't mind, right? If you do one with me real quick. So I want you to just close your eyes for a moment. And everyone just want to take a deep breath. Once in through the nose and then out through the mouth. Then one more time in through the nose and then out through the mouth. And I just want you to feel into this moment right here, right now. And I just want you to take the opportunity to think of the very first belief, the very first thought that goes against everything that you know to be true about yourself. Just want you to take a hold of it for a moment. And I want you to look at it. Because I want you to know that even though you don't feel like it has a whole lot of power over you, it somewhat does, because it does somewhat shape how you act and interact with others and with yourself. So I want you to acknowledge that it's there. And then I would like for you to say, thank you for showing me exactly what it is that I need to let go. I acknowledge you. I love you. And now, as you say that, I want you to create the new thought and the new belief. If it was, I'm not good enough, I am more than enough. If it's, I talk too much and people don't like it, then you say, I talk and people love what I say. And so now you can open your eyes. Who wants to share what they just went through before I continue? Yeah, thank you, Leah.
My biggest negative problem is one that's so deeply rooted is I'm not enough. And so replacing it, the affirmation I replaced it with, I am valuable and
You are valuable and you are enough. Absolutely. Thank you. What Leah stated, she said the one core belief was that I am not enough. And now she says, I am valuable. I am enough. Anyone else? Yes, Lisa.
My very first core belief was there's no safe space for me anywhere in this world. And I can replace
Yeah.
I replaced that with I'm safe with me
Yes.
and I'm safe with my creator. And I am safe with others.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. This is what I'm talking about. This is part of the process that we can do every day of our lives when there is a thought or a belief that comes up for us that does not serve us anymore. Because even though I was diagnosed with having seizures, and even though I was the people pleaser, even though I was the one that was small and had to shrink himself, because as you could tell, I'm 6'3", I have a big booming voice. Matter of fact, they even got to the point where I was working with little children and even the director had to come in and say, sir, could you please calm down a little bit? But what can you do when you are who you are? You have to stand firm. You have to know that anything and everything is possible for yourself no matter what. Because you were created to be someone outside of what the norm is. Because there is no real true norm. There is only individual beings that have been created to be themselves every day and every moment of their lives. And so there's absolutely nothing that you can do to change or to shift yourself for anyone to be anything that they want you to be because you are who you are. So that was my experience. So what is the greatest thing ever that I had to do? I had to reclaim who I was. I had to reclaim my true natural state of being. So then I had to know who I am. And in order for me to know who I am, I have to take moments like we just shared and had to really tap down deep within. What is it that I have already been pre-programmed with? I've been pre-programmed that I was a bad child. I held on to that for 40 years. I was pre-programmed with the fact that people wouldn't love me or respect me or see me for who I am. And I was pre-programmed with the very idea and the very thought that I couldn't make it out in this world because the people that I needed to support me the most would not support me whatsoever. They needed me to be who they wanted me to be in order for them to look like they were proud of something that they created and not who I am as an individual. How many people here can understand that? So now you know and you understand that you all are the best created beings on this planet. I want to affirm that, and I want to just let you know that right here, right now, if nobody ever told you this before. Because this is your moment, this is your time to shine, this is who you are. This is what you have been placed on this earth to express and to be. I'm telling you, when I see individuals, especially Dr. Soul, I just want to let you know, like, the way that she came and commanded the room, and even when she heard the talking, she said, "Soul,
as I was saying, I was like, oh, yes, ma'am. You know? But that's her makeup. That's who she is. That's who she was created to be. That's how she was created. And she knew what she needed to do to express herself properly. So my question to all of you is, what are you going to do to make sure that you have the footprint on this earth that nobody else can feel? Are you going to continue to allow your story to be the very reason why you're on this earth? Of course, exactly. It is, because you're going to be able to tell a story that nobody else can, and how you overcome. And what are you going to do about it once it's all said and done? Because that's what I'm doing. And that's what I choose to show each and every individual, that we don't have to continue to live on this idea of what somebody else thinks and believes. It's about what I think and believe about myself. So I just want to let you know that you are exactly what and who you are. That there's absolutely nothing wrong with you ever in this life and in this way of being. You are here for a reason. You have been here to do exactly what you needed to do. And nothing and no one can change or shift what you have ever been created to be.
I really just want to implore each and every one of you to please just allow yourself to just know who you truly are, and to be and to stay in that in every moment, even when times get rough. I'm telling you, I told someone I was doing a talk. I have 5 coaches. They said, really? I said, absolutely. I said, I have a coach for finances. I have a coach for my life. I have a coach for just being a man. I have a coach for, I have a coach for so many different things, because not just because of the fact that I don't know, it's because of the fact that we all need somebody. There's absolutely no way that we can exist on this earth without anyone. And I tried, trust me, I've tried. So I just hope you know that there is nothing that you can't do or be. You are the greatest thing that was ever created, the greatest person that was ever brought on this earth. And I just want to thank Dr. Tori. I want to thank Angelique. I want to thank Lisa for allowing me to be here today, because I think without these affiliates and these individuals in my life, I don't know, and friend, that's my boo over there, I don't know what I would ever be able to do with my life right now today. So I want to thank you all for hearing me out today. I was never as vulnerable to talk and to tell my story like this until Lisa. Because of the fact that I always thought that that was a diminishing part. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you talk about something that's not positive about yourself, you feel like that's a diminishing part of your life. But yet that's the one that is going to heal somebody else. Because of the fact that they're moving through something is the same. Now, see, granted, I remember when I first was telling someone about this, they were like, well, nobody's really going to listen to you because you're talking about the fact that you have seizures. I said, but the thing is that how did I overcome the stigmas that were placed on me? See, that's what you're not hearing.
Yes.
And that's why I wanted to make sure I told my story. Because there was so much more than just what happened. It was what took place to get me to where I am right now.
Yeah.
Are you going to continue to share your story?
Yes, ma'am, I am. and
We created another monster.
Well, actually, I'll agree, because I would have never told my story. I would have never said this, because a lot of people hear me. They hear me from the affirmative.
Right.
That's the only time they really hear my voice. So even in my on my posts, they're all affirmative. There's nothing about the part of me that was really screaming out, really needing to be heard. Right on. Yes, Leah.
I just want to say, like, the part of your story that stood out the most to me and that stands out most to me when people share their story is giving that voice to the younger self. You know, the one that was experiencing all this stuff and took it upon themselves like, oh, it's me. I need to be better. I need to fix this. But when we're adults and we look back and we give the voice to the child, it's like, oh, there's so much compassion and love for that younger self that wasn't receiving what they needed and deserved. So it was beautiful to hear how you're seeing that younger self with eyes of compassion and love, and it changes the way we treat ourselves now as adults.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the key thing, because like even now in the work that I'm doing in soul psychology, we are always talking to the younger self. We're always talking to that little child. Like, Shira, thank you. You saw my t-shirt on Friday.
I did.
So you the little me. So I have a t-shirt where it's my little face on it, right?
Yeah.
And it says at the bottom, I'm a good feeling. And if anybody's a Mr. Rogers fan in here, he says, it's such a good feeling to know you're alive.
Yeah.
It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside. And when you wake up ready to say, I'm gonna make a snappy new day. So so when I heard that song, I said, oh, I'm that good feeling that Mr. Rogers is talking about.
Yeah, I love that.
So yeah, absolutely. So we always have an opportunity to talk to that younger self and to comfort, to give the comfort, to give the love. I think I came to the realization, I'm gonna let somebody else talk and ask a question or something in a minute. I came to the realization last month that I had to be the nurturer that I needed, because I was looking for that nurturer from my mom and she wasn't that person. And I could not expect any other woman in my life to be that person that I was seeking, that I needed my mother to be for me. And that's the most difficult part in all of it, man. You know what I'm saying? You be like, shucks, man, come on, girl, hold me. Like, let me lay, you know. But, you know, she's like, no, sir, get up. You're grown, you know. So, all right. Anyway, you say?
Reparenting yourself.
Reparenting,
It's
right. It's difficult, especially I'm a whole man. Masculine at his core. Nurturing? You kidding? But I have to learn. I have to learn to tap into that divine feminine of the side of myself. Yes, Dr. Soul.
Your realizations, were they revealed gradually, or did you have an epiphany like, oh my gosh?
My realizations came over time. I think when I initially sat down and wrote the book. Oh, that's right. I didn't even mention that, did I? So ta-da! I have a book called The Essential Pain and Peace of Life, The Journey of Unfolding Consciousness. This is when I actually sat down. This was really originally for a multi-level marketing company. That's why I originally wrote it. And then I realized that this could not be just for them. This had to be for anyone and everyone that would like to listen and hear about it. My realizations came after I really sat down and started writing this out. That's when I started to realize and notice like my life and my expression and the different things that I moved through and how I moved through it, you know? And I was able to put words and names to it. It's so interesting. One of the things I failed to mention was one of my favorite topics that Lisa loves so much is commodity consciousness. I know I just said that because she really didn't like it. But and I understand why too, because I understand from the perspective of individuals that were just like individuals that were enslaved. They were commodities. They were looked at as money, you know? And so here, this is more so about learning how to tap within, communicating with yourself, listening to the power within you, gaining the information, shifting your life to be in alignment with that information, and then being that very idea that's been given to you to be. I'll say that again. You're communicating with the power within. It's giving you information, ideas. Like, let's go with BeVictorious.com, right? Spirit gave Dr. Tori the idea of ACEs. Dr. Tori shifted her life, modified it, did the research, right? Because she's a researcher. And then she became the very thing that God gave her. And that's the power that each and every one of us have to be able to embody for ourselves as well. So, Dr. Soul, that was a very long answer to your question.
No, but it makes sense.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Will you be my my mentor next?
Sure. I gave you my contact information. Feel free to contact me.
Don't you pop up.
What?
She's not, and everything that you got when you was up there, she don't give it to you, baby.
Right on. Any other questions or comments? Or as Dr. Tori would say on her live, any questions or concerns? I used to love it. She'll say something. She goes, "Any questions or concerns?"
Can't stop sharing because everyone only see you as you appear right now, which is strong and healthy and vibrant.
Yeah.
They don't know the hell you think.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
Can't stop sharing.
Yeah.
That's only you know the dark days and dark sides.
Right on.
People don't even know that I was once homeless. You gotta keep going.
Right on. You, man. Have y'all met her and her family?
She's our bride. She's a 365 master.
Right
I
on.
think she showed her worth again this weekend. That's what I saw.
Yeah.
Right on. Yeah.
65 is nothing compared to such high results. Thank for Lisa, thank for Leah, thank for Jorge, thank for Nicole.
So where she always is giving everybody the praise, but
I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to 4 o'clock so we can see Angelique.
Yes.
Angelique.
Angelique.
And I've never been in one record. I'm getting messages as we talking to FCC. I've never, let's be clear, I'm not numbers driven at all. Never had been in, especially for someone that started and it was just me. I thought I was alone in this basic journey. I don't bring Dr. Soul to bring Dr. Soul. Now you see her added value.
Yeah. Yeah.
However, we learned ACEs ourselves because we didn't know. And now we see how powerful it is. Just like we put an initiative out there to talk about ACEs and look what happened.
Yeah.
We are told. You got to keep talking about it.
I will. So I do have a QR code out on the table for you get a free gift. And if you go ahead and use that QR code, also my book. And also I have Oracle cards, which are empowerment cards. That is part of chapter 1 of my book. So all of that is out there. Thank you all so much for having me. I appreciate your time.
Step into your change, feel the light. With Jason by your side, your future's bright. From pain to purpose, let your spirit soar. Awaken your worth, it's time to explore.
Transform your life, let your heart unfold. Turn your struggles into gold.
Join the journey, take the leap. Find your joy,